welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a good day. Today the video is going to consist of doing some maintenance on the cold air intake because rainy season has started in California, and the last thing I want is to go ahead and get water in my filter. Maybe I'm being paranoid and nothing will happen unless it goes into a puddle, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And since I'm already going to be going ahead and putting the Hydroshield on my cold air intake, I figured I would clean it at the same time. But before we do that and head to the shop, I'm going to go ahead and get myself a Starbucks because the day is always better when you start it off with a Starbucks. And honestly, I'm probably just overhyping Starbucks like everyone does, but I'm craving one, so.
How can I help you?
Can I go ahead and do a strawberry acai refresher?
Heck yeah, did you want that with lemonade?
Yes.
Perfect, so grande strawberry acai with lemonade with raspberry syrup and no strawberries. Anything else?
We have our drink now. Now time to go to the shop. So back at the shop, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up because it's just very small droplets, but it's starting, I feel like it's gonna start raining, so what better time to start getting this maintenance out of the way. I got my car lifted up because I feel like this is the best way to get the filter off, and it also shows you guys a better view of it, just where it's placed and everything, so it's not really that hard to take off. But before I go ahead and do that, I have a question. I love this bumper, don't get me wrong. It just makes the car look way more aggressive because it has Type R style, Type R lip, and overall I just feel like it flows with the car very well. The only thing that annoys the hell out of me, and I've probably mentioned it in a couple videos, is this gap right here. And I've tried a lot of things to try to get it to fit, but honestly I've seen people that have worse issues where the bumper doesn't even fit because it's not big enough, the way they made it was short, so on and so forth. So I could say my fitment is a little bit better than what I've been seeing, but it still annoys me because at the end of the day, this is a 2020 brand new car and I want to make it look as good as I can, because if we know the car community, they'll be like, damn, this car looks good, damn, everything about it, and then haha, that fitment though, haha, replica bumper, who knows where they got it. It happens, you know, the car community is what it is, and at the end of the day, I know we'll never reach perfection because there's always a little something, but I do want to make it as close to it as possible, you know? So the reason I bring that up is because I brought out my old bumper, which is my OEM bumper, and when I look at it, one of the biggest things that I've seen online, the pictures they take, and going back to the pictures when I first had my car, is this style grille. I really like what they did right here, and the only reason I got rid of it is because I went and switched it out to this type of bumper, and as you can see, the grille in this one is very different compared to that one. So what I'm contemplating about doing is going back to this. Obviously I'm going to wrap it to color match this wrap, but I would wrap it and then possibly just get a lip so that I can make up for the lip on this bumper. But which one do you guys prefer? Let me know. You guys prefer the Type R bumper style? And maybe I can try to figure out a way to finally get that gap to close? Or would you guys like to go back to seeing the 2020 bumper style? Just go ahead and comment it down below. Let me know what you guys think. I kind of will see if I can find a good lip for the OEM style bumper. But I will say, the one thing I really do love is this vent style with the little cutouts that it has like the Type R. It looks really aggressive. But enough on that subject. I'm gonna get this bumper off, get that filter off, and let's get started on cleaning it. So I'm gonna actually have to backtrack on what I said. I'm taking off the whole bumper. I already had the top clips off, but when I went to the bottom, I noticed that I know I've seen a comment before where you could install the intake without taking off the bumper, and I was like, seems like more of a pain, but to get the filter off, I might be able to just get it off. It's super easy, watch. I was coming down here to take off the final bolts on the bottom, but I'm like, it's super dark. So as you guys can see, the filter is right there, just by taking off this little piece right here off the bottom of the bumper. So all I have to do, I'm just gonna unscrew that real quick and we're done. As I assume the filter is super dirty, with all the weather we've been having in California, all the fires and all the ash in the air, I figured this thing would be super dirty, and it is, which is a good thing we're taking care of it. And let me go see if the Hydroshield actually fits on this thing. So this is the Hydroshield that I picked up. It's by Injen. According to the forums that I seen online, it says that this one should fit this filter. So let's get this thing open. So it looks like some kind of hairnet for your car. It's super soft. Supposedly this repels a lot of the water or all the water that's gonna hit the filter. But I guess we'll find out. Should I? We'll try it right now. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys this. This is pretty cool. See how the water just kind of like beads off of it? Oh, this thing's out of water, but you see? That's crazy. And yeah, it's still dry. It looks like no water got on the inside. That's pretty crazy. Okay, now let's see if it actually fits. Probably shouldn't do this while it's dirty, but I want to see. Gotta keep raising it from one side, go around. It's gonna be one thing to put this on. It's gonna be another to take it off. I feel like it definitely will fit. If you guys see right there, well, I think that with just a little bit more of like pulling it down and doing this, it should fit on there. So, because the reason why I don't want to go all the way is because I'm gonna have to take it off anyways. So, take this thing off for now. Hopefully we didn't get it too dirty. Let's get this thing cleaned up. I'm gonna be using the K&N recharger. I had this from when I had my old car, my Series Z. I had a K&N filter on it, and when I cleaned it up, it actually worked really well. So, pretty much all it comes with is this spray. This is gonna be the actual cleaner itself. Spray it on there, spray some water from the inside out, get all that gunk off, let it dry for a couple hours. Once it's all dry, gonna hit it with that filter oil. It's gonna be looking brand new and definitely better than it looks right now. I'm gonna take this thing outside, spray it with this stuff, and just let it dry. All you have to do, pretty much you're just gonna spray it with this stuff. The cleaner. It's gonna help all that like, grime come off. Then see the difference. It was all dark and now it's all nice and clean. I'm gonna do a couple more things there. Spray it one more time with a couple more sprays and that should be it. Honestly, this is gonna be the most time consuming part of this whole thing, which is just letting the filter dry. But before you just let it sit, try to get much of that water out of it. And the best thing to do is just let it dry by itself. If you try to speed up the process, it might not be good for the filter. Ooh, nope, this way would probably be better. There we go. As you guys can see, it's a whole lot cleaner now. Definitely needed that. And once this thing finishes drying, then we're gonna hit it with the oil. It should look brand new. Pop it back in and put on that Hydroshield. Hey guys, giving you an update on the filter. It is dry. It's been about like 4 hours since I last finished up cleaning it, and I think it's ready to go. Here's what it looks like. I know that it might look a little dark on camera, but it's only the way that the lighting is hitting it. But from what it looked like before, it was super, super dirty. Now it's time that it's all dry. At least it feels dry, to give it a re-oiling, and that's pretty easy. All you have to do is just do even coats all the way around. I'll show you guys how you do it right now, and then we'll put the Hydroshield, put it back on the car, and see if cleaning the filter makes a better noise. Because one thing I have been noticing is when I stepped on the gas, it kind of made like a weird sound, like if almost something was stuck in it. So I'm assuming that now that it's all cleaned up, it should be as good as new. So you get your can. Get your can, and then all you're really doing is just applying even coats. So you're just gonna go. And there it's starting to look like it did when it first, when you first get your filter. Looks all nice and coated. Just gonna look over, make sure that it didn't miss any spots. You don't have to put too much of this stuff because eventually it does kind of even out by itself. But I'm just trying to make sure that no white spots are showing. It looks pretty good. Definitely got some on my hands, but yeah, just a little bit here. There we go. It looks pretty even all the way around. I'm gonna let that kind of soak in for a little bit. I think it takes about like 15 minutes or so for it to finally get all cleaned up. But first I'm gonna grab a towel, get rid of this excess that I put on this top section just to make it look a little cleaner. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes or so since I let the filter get the oil on it. As you guys can see, it's pretty much even all the way around. I tried to make sure everything was coated, but it looks like everything is all set, and as you guys can see, it's all dry on the inside as well. So that's looking really good. Now it's time to put on the Hydroshield. But before we do that, I just want to show you guys one more time exactly what the Hydroshield is used for. Got a cup of water here. So what it should be helpful for is if it's raining outside and for whatever reason it's pouring, let's say, and there's a lot of water outside, it should protect it. As you guys can see, see how the water just kind of falls off of it. And on the inside, it's probably hard to see because it's a little see-through, but it's completely dry. Put my hand all the way around it. See? Completely dry on the inside. Do it one more time. Put my hand in just to show you guys. Rub it all the way around. As you guys can see, there's a little bit of moisture on there still, but look. Put my hand all the way around it. And my hand is completely dry. So this thing will definitely help with the rain. Now back to the challenge at hand to actually see if I can fit this thing on there. As we were seeing earlier, it looks like it was almost on there. So here goes again. And finally, after pulling and tugging away, let me take off the clamp real quick. But as you guys can see, if it's super snug, it just takes a while to get through this part. But bam, once it hooks on perfectly. And this looks pretty fancy, even though it's not an Injen filter. Still looks pretty cool. It's kind of like a rubber piece that they put on there. Now, put on the clamp, put it back on the car. Let's give this thing a couple revs and see if the intake sounds a whole lot better now that it's all cleaned up and rid of all that gunk that was stuck on it. Filter's back on, but let me take you guys just to show you what it looks like in there. Ooh. So as I shine this light in there, as you guys can see, good as new, all tucked away up in there, nice and snug. Make sure it's not going anywhere. Now let's go ahead and give this thing a couple revs, seeing just how good that filter sounds, all cleaned up and ready to go. So from what my ears heard, sounded just as good. So I'm gonna clean this whole mess up, take the car off, and why not set up the tripod and just do a couple pulls around here. And just to end off the video, I just want to say thank you guys so much. We've reached 1.4K here on YouTube, and I know it doesn't sound like a lot compared to some other YouTubers and this and that, but to me, I appreciate every single one of you guys. And if you guys like, comment, and subscribe, the channel will only keep growing, and I will definitely bring you guys more content, because the more subscribers we have, the more parts I can get for the SI. And at the end of the day, I just want to help you guys out. So if you guys are ever considering any part on your car, I mess with mine, so you guys don't have to go through that. Or if you want to get the part, there you go. Made a little review for you guys. Until the next one, guys. Peace.